Hi and welcome back to Wine Mastery. We have got a slight sparkler to taste and we're going to taste it in a moment. So, as I said, we have a sparkler. Not only do we have a sparkler from a vineyard that's owned by Bollinger.
Sorry.
So this wine is called La Extra Langlois. I'm guessing at that pronunciation.
I bet you are.
Cremant de Loire Brut, and which I think means dry. So let's have a look at the bottle. We've got this whole of this one in Majestic, and the price. Now, I did say that it is owned by Bollinger, so hold on to your hats. The price is £13.50. Wow, that's not bad.
That's excellent.
Anything associated with Bollinger, I thought sort of started at £15 before you even started anything else. I mean, just the name, add £15. Usually. So this is made in the same way that champagne is made, exactly the same style. It doesn't have any, it's only white grapes, so there's no Pinot Noir in it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, exactly the same method. Now, it's £13.50 as said. If you're just buying this as a one-off in Majestic, it's 15. If you buy it as one of 6, then it's £13.50. So, should we have a look at the?
I think we should, John.
I
think we should.
Fizzing up. When I poured this, it was like really sort of foaming up brilliantly. But it's got. It has got that champagne-esque.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's toned down, like you said, but there's still a lot of fizz in there. A lot of fizz in there. Yeah. I've seen this before when there's much less after 2 seconds in the glass, but that's still going. Yeah. It's got a very golden colour, very golden.
Well, there is actually. I mean, people do refer to champagne as a colour, don't they?
They do, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
So we could say that's a sort of champagne colour.
Good call, John. Yeah, it's champagne. Let's have a go on the old nose.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Same. It's got the
Bready,
Doughy.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to tell that away from champagne.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Of course, John. No, that's definitely.
Of course, one can tell the absence of the Pinot Noir. Of course.
I forgot for a moment there. And no, that smells absolutely delicious.
It does.
And honestly, I would not be able to tell the difference.
No, it's.
Okay, well, I'm going to have a go of it.
Okay, me too then. Let me join you.
Ooh. Oh, John.
That's nice, isn't it? Oh, it's so refreshing.
It's refreshing when we were talking about the fizz that on the tongue, that just comes out massively. That's like it's effervescent. It's just like it's in there.
It's one of those things that one of those wines where the overall sensation was such that I thought I'm just going to enjoy. I'm not going to try and isolate what the different tastes are. I just want to enjoy it as a as a taste on its unique taste that it is.
I get that, but that is absolutely. I mean, flavour-wise, for me, I'm getting initially. What I'm enjoying is that effervescent, again, that kind of tongue, it sparkles on your tongue, it's delicious, but then the flavour, I'm going to say it, and I'll say it a lot, but crisp green apples, but this takes it to a different league. That is just crisp green apples, and it's got like a little bit of tartness at the end, but which it suits perfectly, but it's almost like the skin of a green apple. That's delicious.
I got all of that, but right at the beginning, I got a little bit of melon. Just a taste of melon.
I get that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I get that. Wow. That's one of these things, like if you hadn't have said that, I probably wouldn't have picked up on that. But because you've said it.
Yeah, just the beginning there. And then the acidity cuts in and it sort of fades away. Not in an unpleasant way, but yeah.
Quite impressed with
that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice, opening the... Oh, yeah. It's still there.
It's still there. I'll tell you what, but the other thing I've noticed, I'm really drinking this quite quickly. It's so quaffable. It's just, it's lovely.
You know what?
It's,
I was going to say something then, and I think I shall say, I rate that over a lot of champagnes we've tasted.
yeah?
Definitely.
You're talking about Moe?
Have we ever tried Moe? I don't think we've ever...
No, we must try that, actually. Yeah.
So we'll give it a go. Let's not be unfair, but no, that is standing out for me. And now you said that melon thing as well, I'm like clinging on to that.
Yeah, and the freshness just stays in your mouth, doesn't it? I mean, I'm really having to resist having another quaff of this, but yeah, the freshness. This is just such this is just ice. This is so ideal for weddings, for Christmas, for New Year, any celebratory. This is just, and at £13.50, it's well,
Where was this from again, John?
This was from Majestic.
Just so I know, because that is outstanding.
£13.50. I mean, £13.50 for a white wine would be a lot, but for sparkling wine of this, as you said, there are. I can think of 2 or 3 just immediately off the top of my head where we would have paid £30 for, and they wouldn't have been as good as this.
Well, the one that springs to mind for me, and I don't know if I have a benchmark on this, but the one that we got from the that silent auction once, it was £450.
Oh, the Ace of Spades or whatever.
Yeah. £450.
Yeah.
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 So that means you could have 10, 12.
He'll work it out, don't worry. If he doesn't tell you now, he'll tell me off camera.
It's 100 quid. About 18, 17, 18 of these.
Yeah, and I think I know which one I'd prefer.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Matching pairings. Oh, cracky, I haven't even thought about that.
Oh,
no, I have.
Well, it's easy for food, isn't it? I bet you'd think exactly the same as me.
Go on.
Fish and chips.
Fish and chips. Yep, we'll go no further with that. Fish and chips, you were absolutely spot on. I know. We tried and tested that one. And he's always come out on top. For me, with the cheese, I'm going to go, and I do with most sparklings, and I'm making no apology for it. There'll be Delis de Cremier or Delis de Bourgogne. Both like triple cream cheeses. And that, together with that, you just can't knock it. So
scoring. £13.50. Oh. I know. I've got my score. I've got
mine.
Yeah, I'm going to turn away. Let you tell everyone what yours is. You having a drink first? You're cheating.
I am, because that is absolutely delicious. So, okay, I'm going to say, regardless of price, for a minute, that is a absolutely stunning bit of wine. It ticks boxes for me. Delicious. Bring the price into it. So I am going to give this. I'm going to make sure I've got it right. There we go.
Okay. I'm going 91.
92.
I was like that.
It's not often. It's not often we'll score over 90. It takes something very special to go over that 90 threshold, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is very special.
It is very special. £13.50 is worth of very special as well.
£13.50.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have scored that highly. I'd have scored it highly. Anyway, but to learn it's £13.50. Absolutely. Oh my God, you could have a bottle or two of that in the fridge. It's nearly everyday drinking then.
It is.
Oh.
And when you get right to the bottom of your glass, as you can see I nearly have here, so you've swizzled around the fizz has mainly gone because of the agitation. It still tastes good.
I concur, John.
That's excellent.
You did enjoy that, didn't you?
I did, yes. I want some more of that.
No, absolutely delicious. I would recommend.
Okay, well, guys, we'll do a twizzle here, and then we'll have a viewer's question.
Oh, forgot about those.
Okay, so the viewer's question. This question comes from Chris Thorogood, and the question is, what wine goes best with pizza?
Well, Chris, that's It's a bit unusual one, that, isn't it? Because you have to decide which pizza you're having. You know, it could be something quite plain and simple as your margarita, then go into like the meat feast or the big spicy ones. So, so let's start from the beginning. Margarita style, you would want, I would say, something stereotypical like a Chianti or something Nera d'Avola. That would suit that well. Then you go into the mid. They're red. If you're thinking white, something like a Gave de Gave. That would suit that. Then we're going on to like the middle range kind of stuff, which is like the meaty ones, not the spicy ones, but the meaty ones. Oh, it's making my mouth water actually just thinking about it. And I'd probably go something Sangiovese for your white, red.
Primitivo if you're in Italy.
Yes. See, it's all a mood thing, isn't it? And then when you get into the big spicy ones, I mean, you're going to have something that's going to take something like a Gewürztraminer or a Riesling, which is going to take on the spiciness. But that's a really good question, Chris, because that there's a lot to answer in that one.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I hope that answers your question. And if anyone else has got any questions, let us have them, and we will try to answer them. And so until the next time, we'll see you there. Ciao.
Ciao.